What is good in your life, Grizzlies? Hey, happy Thursday, Friday morning. We're back to the unit circle. Today should be pretty simple. We're gonna use the unit circle and we're gonna evaluate the function again. This time we have degrees in radians. So let's take a look at this one more time. First, in the unit circle, we write down the degrees. And the final detail we just learned were called the radians. Here's the unit circle in entire detail. If starting next year in math class, you'd be able to copy this down from scratch and maybe remember some patterns, you'd be in a great spot. So let's have a little competition. So if you have a blank sheet with you, great, or go ahead and make a sketch real quick on some scratch paper. First, I'm gonna start with the degrees. See if you can beat me. Let's draw it.
finished. Were you able to beat me to the unit circle?
If not, maybe try it 1 or 2 times on your own. It's not about speed, it's about accuracy. If you could list all the degrees, radians, and coordinates, man, you're gonna be a step ahead going into next year. We're gonna use it a lot. Today's assignment is gonna be using this unit circle to evaluate functions. We did this last week, but we only gave degrees. Using our unit circle, let's try these 3 examples. Let's start with this top one. We got cosine of 5 pi over 6. Remember that the cosine refers to the x coordinate on here. The sine refers to the y coordinate. So I go to 5 pi over 6, bam. The x coordinate is negative root 3 over 2. Everything looks good. There's my answer, done. Next up, we've got the cosecant. Cosecant of 5 pi over 4. Cosecant is the reciprocal of sine, so I'm looking for the y coordinate. Let's go to 5 pi over 4, here we are. The y coordinate is negative root 2 over 2, so the cosecant would be negative 2 over root 2. It would be the reciprocal of that. This is not an acceptable answer. It has a square root in the denominator, so I need to rationalize that. I'm going to multiply by root 2 over root 2. This gives me negative 2 root 2 all over. When I multiply these together, the square root goes away. This is still an unacceptable answer because we can simplify, we can reduce. The 2's would cancel, and my final answer is negative root 2. A little bit more involved with that one. So I found the y coordinate. I had to do the reciprocal because we're talking the cosecant. I had to rationalize the denominator, and even after that, I had to simplify. Finally, here we have tan of 120. Notice these ones gave radians. This one is in degrees, no big deal. We have our unit circle, we have our math, so we'll just follow it. This one has one extra tricky thing with it. Let's check it out. All right, so tan of 120 degrees. Something you may not know, tan is equal to the sine divided by the cosine. So I'd be taking the y coordinate and dividing by the x coordinate. So let's go to 120 degrees, here we are. I gotta do the y coordinate divided by the x coordinate. Here's what that could look like. I would have the square root of 3 over 2 divided by negative 1/2. I can use a calculator, but really it's not necessary here. This is pretty simple. I have root 3 over 2. I'm gonna multiply by the reciprocal, 2 over 1. And check it out. I get negative 2 root 3 on the top. I have 2 on the bottom. The 2's are going to cancel. My final answer is negative root 3. So this one wasn't a radian. This one they gave us a degree. They were also asking us to do the tan. So I had to do sine divided by cosine. Here's what that work would look like. Hopefully with these 3 examples, the assignment shouldn't be any trouble. Guys, make sure to include a couple things when you submit your assignment this time. Make sure that you're showing your work, okay? So sometimes there's no work to show. It's just the x coordinate, like in this one. Sometimes I need to divide a couple of fractions, simplify, or even rationalize a denominator. So make sure you're showing that work on your paper. Also, when we have a square root symbol, I need to clearly be able to tell if it's negative or not. Sometimes our answers are looking like this. And I can't tell if it's part of the square root or a negative. So make sure it's very clear. If I can't see it or I can't tell, then it makes it hard to count or give points. We've got 10 problems, 9 of them regular. We got 1 extra credit. Here's what they look like. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time.